Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening to Vitamae podcast. I'm happy to recommend using Anchor.fm as my podcast tool. It's a free tool. It automatically publishes your podcast to Spotify. You may manually submit your podcast to Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Castbox.fm, and others. It is straightforward to use from your mobile phone application or computer and laptop browser. You can invite friends and record when ready and more. You may also monetize by recording guided ads that you select per episode. Join in on the fun of sharing your experiences and stories and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Again, that's anchor.fm. Thank you.
Welcome to Vitamae. The topic for today is all about my lessons learned in the year 2020. First, I want to thank my devoted husband, Yesenko, my amazing 4 Archangel boys, my close family, relatives, friends, and co-workers who continue to support me every day. I would not be here without the many people keeping me sane, safe, healthy, and happy as best as it can be. I would like to recognize all the families and friends who have suffered during the COVID-19 pandemic. As of today, about 500,000 people have died in the USA and many globally. So many people are still going through pains today around the world. Below are a few lessons that I've learned. Life is short. Cherish the moment that you have today. Number 2, prepare for the inevitable. Create your revocable living trust, will, emergency instructions for your relatives and family, contingencies, and more. You just cannot plan enough, have a plan A to Z. Make sure your family knows what they need to do. If they have documents that they need to know, make sure you share that to them and make sure they can find it. There are many emergencies out there, and worse, if you're no longer alive, they don't know what to do after that. So make sure that you keep your family informed as necessary. Number 3, follow CDC or health guidelines for your local, federal, and/or country where you live in. Not everyone has the same type of immunity as another person. It is always better to be cautious to help protect and save people around us. It's just the right thing to do. Let's be gracious and be kind to one another and help each other. Number 4, misinformation has been very prominent in the last few years in the USA and around the world. Crosscheck and validate legitimate sources of information. I would not recommend sharing memes or YouTube videos from just anyone. Provide context of the information or summary from the articles that you read. Too many people are too busy dealing with many different emergencies and responsibilities. They do not have time to read the entire article at length. If possible, try to give a short version of it, what you learned from that article, and if they have time, they can read the article further on their own time. Distinguish the difference between entertainment versus factual data from the different news media outlets. I recommend not only looking at the US news, but globally around the world for comparison. You will find a trend, and you can see there's either gaps or misinformation being shared depending on what it is. So the more sources, the better. Number 5, self-care is critical. Share your needs in your personal life as well as your work life. They go hand in hand together. If one piece of your life is not doing well, you're more likely to have a bad experience at work or vice versa, or affect your loved ones. Understand your limits and especially your tolerance level. Ask for help and find trusted accountability partners when you need them. It's not too late to ask for help. Physical and mental wellness is even more critical today, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. We're all experiencing high levels of stress, anxiety, loneliness, and many more. You're not alone. Number 6, if possible, create daily, weekly, monthly plans to give you some sense of purpose and control. I have heard from many people who seemed lost or felt anxious or even depressed that writing out their goals or 3 essential tasks regularly keeps them grounded and have a sense of moving forward. It feels great to be able to accomplish small things, whether it seems mundane or not. Just being able to complete a task and be proud of it helps move you forward. Rather than solving many problems at once or even large problems, try to do small chunks or group them into 3 manageable things or small things. It could be even one thing at a time. Number 7, when learning a new skill or developing a new habit, try to do one thing at a time and then add more as you get better at it. If you overthink and overwhelm yourself, you're bound to stop building your habit or even continuing to do so. Also, try not to overthink or punish or make yourself feel guilty if you can't keep the streak of completing specific practices that you think are important to you. Note, don't make it a habit to skip either. It's not good for you to build bad habits either. It takes time to do that. Try to take moderation on all the efforts that you do as best as you can. Follow SMART goals. If you haven't heard what SMART goals is, I'll specify it. S meaning specific, something that's simple that you can actually attain and sensible. M means measurable. It's meaningful. It's something that's going to make you want to do it. A is achievable. Is it really something that you can do? Is it attainable? R is relevant. Make sure it's realistic. Is this something that you can complete and you'll be proud of the result after completing the goal? T for time bound. Make sure there's time limits for it, whether it's short or long term. Setting a goal that has a time makes it a little bit easier for you to plan and manage your expected goals, whether it's short term or long term. Number 8, with all the hard work that you put in, all the things that you've done as best as you can, don't forget to provide self-reward for yourself. Be proud of the goals and things you have accomplished, whether small or big. Nobody's ever motivated with only hearing criticism, whether from others or themselves. Our inner voice is well known to be the worst judge of ourselves. Be kind to yourself and do something that you love doing, whether binge watching a movie once in a while, getting a spa treatment, getting some fresh air to see the sun and enjoy nature and just feel the breeze around you. Getting a treat at a store, whether it's an ice cream or shopping once in a while. Connect with people you haven't talked to or seen in a while, whether virtually or at a safe distance, face to face. Number 9, get to know yourself again. Spend some time reminiscing and resetting your expectations when things are not working as you expect. Ask yourself your why and see if you can create forward momentum in attaining what you want for yourself. What makes you excited to get up in the morning? Are you mindful of your present needs? What are your non-negotiables? This may take some time to do. I recommend you write it down, either in a journal, you could doodle, even draw. Just have some fun and use some creativity and get to know yourself again. What made you want to do what you do today? What are some of the aspirations and dreams that you had in the past while you were younger or way back? Number 10, ask yourself when you had fun recently. Just because you're an adult does not mean you cannot have fun, laugh, or smile. Connect with people who allow you to be vulnerable and accept you as who you are. Try not to take life too seriously too often. Things happen for a reason. We can't possibly control everything nor make everyone happy in our lives. Maybe you can laugh off that embarrassing moment that you may have experienced recently. Get some fresh air, get some new perspective, try something new. Lately, I've been enjoying having fun with my peers and friends by talking about, common embarrassing things or actions like bloopers. Share jokes or things that made you want to stop and just laugh. It's the best therapy when you're feeling anxious and depressed, if not sad. Number 11, try not to overjudge yourself too much. Everyone needs a break sometime, especially today with the pandemic and the natural disasters occurring in so many places worldwide. Go with the flow. Remind yourself that you're doing the very best you can. If possible, repeat it for yourself and say, I'm good enough. Let some things go. Ask for help. Express yourself where you feel safe and allow yourself to let things occur where you are kind with yourself. Nothing is ever perfect, and nothing is permanent. All we can do is survive and try to make it another day. If it needs to be just a few minutes, 15 minutes, a few hours, or just a day, step by step is what you need. And the last thing, most important, be thankful as best as you can. You can write it in a journal, say it out loud, or tell people that you're grateful. At a minimum, I say that I'm thankful that I'm alive and able to support myself and my family. I'm thankful that I can still do the many things I love and make meaningful impact around me. After all that, here are some of the key takeaways just to refresh yourself. Number 1, be present. Life is short. Number 2, always have contingency plans. Number 3, follow health recommendation guidelines for your local region for COVID-19 pandemics and natural disasters. Number 4, cross-check and validate the information and try not to share misinformation as best as you can. Number 5, self-care is critical. It isn't optional. Number 6, create short and long-term goals by planning. Number 7, when creating goals, make sure they are attainable and you are accountable for them. Number 8, don't forget to self-reward yourself for the great things that you do every day. Number 9, get to know yourself. Number 10, when was the last time that you had fun recently? 11, try not to overjudge yourself or overthink. Number 12, take a moment to be grateful as often as you can. These are some of the lessons I've learned. There are plenty more. I hope that you find this helpful and we can sync up and talk to you again next time. Thank you.